thought about retiring and living on a houseboat? If so, you'll want to watch this video. My husband and I visited my longtime friends, Sharon and Jerry this past weekend on their houseboat. They retired in 2018 and spent a number of years RVing. Once they'd seen pretty much every state in the country, they settled on spending their summers on a houseboat. They have had 5 different houseboats on 3 different lakes. And this weekend, I asked them if they would sit down with me and talk about the pros and cons of being retired and living on the water. So if you've ever thought about houseboat living, or if you're interested in houseboat living, you'll want to watch this video and find out all those good things and the not so good things about living on a houseboat. Additionally, I filmed 2 other videos that I'm posting in my houseboat playlist that you can watch. One is the fun that we have out there on their ski boats and their houseboat, and the other one is Houseboat 101. If you're planning to buy a houseboat, you'll want to know the technical side of what is required to hook up and unhook to leave the slip in the marina. And Jerry walked me through that process, and you'll see it on the video titled Houseboat 101. So once you finish watching this video, watch the other 2 videos and see what living on a houseboat during your retirement years is all about. Okay, so tell me what year you retired and what made you decide to retire.
April 20th, 2018. I called him and said, I'm putting our house for sale and we're going to go full time in our motorhome for 2 years and then we'll get jobs at Walmart. Got a call in 10 minutes. The guy came and looked at our house that night and bought it.
Fully furnished, right?
Fully furnished. I had a little bit more money for fully furnished. Yep.
And our first stop was the Florida Keys. We'd already had the motorhome. We'd already had everything. But
so you did an RV.
Yeah.
You didn't go straight to houseboating. You started RVing in a Class A.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about your Class A motorhome.
We had a 42-foot Monaco Dynasty, which we'd already had. So because we were weekenders and vacation, so we traveled. And we left, it was kind of like a circus because we had 31 days. From when she said we were doing this till we left. So we had the motorhome, a big enclosed trailer, a Jeep, a Razor. We still had the boat and the truck. So that's how we left. So we did that, and we went all the way across country 3 times, across Canada from sea to sea, Nova Scotia, Bay of Fundy, all the way to Vancouver, and down in 2019.
We made every state except we missed Delaware because we missed the ferry ride over there.
Missed the ferry by 3 minutes.
You made every state the first year?
No, within
the time frame you were.
We didn't do Alaska.
We haven't done Alaska. Still haven't.
So what year did you start houseboating?
Well, in 2020, when the country changed, our reservations were canceled at our RV park. And so that's when we were repositioning and thinking we need a home base because we didn't have a home base then. We just lived in our motorhome.
And we were in Yuma. So I told her there's a park down the way, Country Roads, that sells RV lots and you own them. So we bought an RV lot. Then we bought the first houseboat, brought it to Yuma, remodeled it, brought it back up here.
So then the first year you bought the first houseboat was what year?
2021.
21 or 22, I don't remember.
We bought it up here at Lake Powell, and then we drug it all the way to Yuma, did a full remodel over the winter, and then we brought it back up here, spent a summer on it. Yeah, and then we sold it. Then we bought the one in Trinity.
Yeah.
Then came back here, then went to Shasta, then came back here.
So
5th houseboat now.
Lake Powell, Lake Trinity, Shasta, and back to Lake Powell.
Yeah. Because I asked the grandkids what's their favorite lake, even though they live in Oregon and they could go to Trinity or Shasta anytime they wanted. Mm-hmm. They all wanted to be at Powell, so we came back to Powell.
So if somebody was going to look at houseboating, what kind of expenses would they be looking at? What type of things, like registration, the rental of your slip?
Yeah,
There
there's
are a lot of different things.
two ways to register a houseboat. Arizona has very inexpensive boat registration fees. Our boat is registered through the Coast Guard, which is still inexpensive, but it's good anywhere. So if this was going to be moved anywhere, it's done anywhere. Your slip fees, they charge you per foot. And the way it works is if you're in a 50-foot slip, you pay up to that 50 foot. Well, we're in a 50-foot slip, but you're allowed 10% over. So we're 60 feet long. So we pay the 50-foot slip and then we pay per foot over that. So we're paying for a 60-foot slip. Power is included, which as much as you use power when you were on the slip,
I wondered about that, if power was included or
that's
not.
good.
Here it is. Lake Shasta, it wasn't.
Yeah, Lake Shasta, we had to pay
It was
Extra.
big bucks for power.
Yeah.
But power's included. There's a gas pump over here. It's kind of expensive. There's pump out stations, 8 lanes of pump out stations for your sewage. You pump it out yourself. That's all free and included. We stick a hose at the toilet that flushes. You are in it.
In your slip fee. How about if there was a houseboat that wasn't going to slip?
Anybody can pump out for free.
Okay.
So if people come with a cabin cruiser for the day, bringing it in, they can pump out.
They could pump out there.
But every marina is different. Trinity, we had to pay for our pump outs. So it just depends on what marina you're at, is what you pay for and what you don't pay for.
Yeah, Shasta, we didn't have to pay for pump out.
No.
Gas is the issue. There's no gas mid-lake at that 50-mile point. So in a boat like this, we carry 100-gallon extra, another 100-gallon extra fuel tanks. They're called toy tanks. We carry another 50 gallons in jugs, and then the boat holds 350 gallons between the two motors for the generator.
That's a lot of fuel.
Yep.
It's a lot of fuel. It's a lot of cost if you use it the way that we use it. We do not sit here in the slip very often.
Plus, you have your other toys. Tell me a little bit about your toys that you have.
So we have a surf wakeboard boat that we play with.
Which is a gas hog.
Another gas hog. And then we have 2 Sea-Doos. Sea-Doos are economical. So if we're just going to go sightsee, it's just the 2 of us, or if we have another couple and we're just going to sightsee in and out of the canyons. Plus you can get them in the narrow canyons. There's 96 canyons on this lake. And some of them are so narrow that we've not even been able to get the Sea-Doo to back some of them. So you can get back there and then get out and swim to the end, and then you can hike up all these slot canyons, which is really cool. And then here at Lake Powell, which it's a national park, but you have a lodge. I don't know if you can see it on the hill. There's a lodge there with rooms, restaurant, sports bar, pizza parlor, and then we have our restaurant that we went to last night on the marina, had live music. So it's convenient. Bath stations, dog walk grass areas. Very easy, nice living. And there are people that choose to just come up and they don't take their houseboats off the slip.
Now, you told me yesterday that the motel up there, the lake used to be high enough water that they docked out front of the motel.
Yeah, my first time coming here in 1982, 1983, the hotel there, people would tie their boats behind their hotel.
And how old were you in 1982 and 83?
18.
And old enough to still play on the toys. Huh?
Yeah, well, I had back then still. I started coming here with my own camper and boat when I was 19.
So even though the water is really low, there's still a lot of activity on on the lake? You said that people weren't coming because they thought there was no water here in the lake.
Well, the problem is the media tells people that the lake's empty, there's no water. And for houseboating, in my opinion, the lake's never been better. There's sand beaches everywhere, where before it used to just be sheer rock canyons, and you had to fight for beaches.
So since it's so far down from the parking now, tell a little bit about the golf cart service that there is out there.
So with your slip, there's more food. So with your slip fee and guests or people that just come down, they have what's called cart service. And they usually run 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. Busy season, 10 o'clock. Off season, that's where it's a little tough. But they'll pick you up at the hotel or in the parking lots. You just call on the radio, and they have radio stations up there, and they'll bring you right down to the end of the slips, and then, or to the restaurant. If somebody's staying at the hotel and they don't want to eat up at the restaurant there, they want to eat at the restaurant on the marina, they can get a cart ride down. And then they have porter service, which are these large buckets. So you have families that come with lots of supplies, and they'll hook 4 buckets up behind a Kubota tractor, and that they bring right down and load right onto your houseboat for you. And that's, again, no charge.
Oh, I saw those last night.
Yeah. All that is
little trailers,
tip stuff. So
yeah.
In general, you want to, if you're doing a bucket of stuff, they kind of tip $20 and more for the buckets. Cart service, it's a couple of bucks.
Okay, so Jerry, yesterday you were telling me the name of your boat. So tell me again what the name of your boat is and what that means.
It's called Our Nexus, and it's supposed to mean basically like a group coming together, friends coming together, a gathering. So it's a pretty good name. We didn't name it. That was the name it had.
But it's perfect for you because you always have somebody on the houseboat with you, it seems like. That's why you bought a 4-bedroom houseboat, I take it.
Yeah.
It's because you have family and friends that are always here.
Yeah, even though everybody sleeps on the roof, people just spread out. They'd rather be on the roof. If you're at the marina, not so much. But if we're up lake, where the stars are bright, and it's some of the darkest skies in the U.S. up here, it's just beautiful. The canyons, the full moons, the stars, the fish jumping all night long. Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so Sharon, this is your baby. Tell me a little bit about your baby.
This is Renly. She loves to be on top of the water. She paddleboards. She has surfed. I have a YouTube video of her surfing behind the boat.
Okay, Randy, go.
She loves to run on the beach. She just loves lake life.
And what kind of a dog is she? What's her breed?
She's a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel.
And how old is she?
She'll be 12
Oh my goodness.
on the 22nd of this month.
Oh,
Her
wow.
birthday's coming up.
And she was so happy to be on the boat yesterday.
Yeah, she loves the boat. She's our co-captain.
Yeah. I'd like you guys to give me 3 pros of living on a houseboat. So Sharon, you tell me those.
I love my water yard. I was born in March. I'm a Pisces, and I love the water. And love not being in the city with cars and traffic and
No dust.
yeah, just water. But there are storms here,
Yeah,
major storms. But if you survive the storms, and then afterwards, the waterfalls are absolutely beautiful here.
Off of the rock. Tell us a little bit about the storm you got caught in the one time. I remember you're telling you were up canyon.
Yeah, when our very first little trailer bull houseboat, we're like, oh, we'll park here because there's cliffs all around us. So we thought we were going to be 100% protected. Well, the storm came up and we learned what a downdraft is, where the wind comes down and then push our boat. And we just got back to the houseboat like 10 minutes before the storm. I couldn't even, Jerry's out trying to save the wakeboard boat. I couldn't even open the sliding glass door because the wind was blowing. The chairs were doing donuts on in the front.
I can send you a short video you can edit into that.
Yeah,
That would be
Pretty
great.
mind-blowing.
yeah.
We thought we were going to die.
And then the next
also,
morning when we woke up, we had the most beautiful, beautiful sunrise ever. And we took a picture of it, and we framed it, and that was our picture of remembering the day that
we survived.
So there's always good after the bad, no matter what it
Yes.
is in every story, I think.
Yep.
Okay, Jerry, give me 3 examples of things that are disadvantages of living on a houseboat.
Well, cost. I mean, it's an expense. It's a big expense. So, repairs. If you have a major repair, something underneath or outdrives, you have to pay a couple of $1,000 fee to have the boat pulled out of the water because it takes special semis, special trailers, permitting. It's like an RV. There's always a list, always something that needs to be fixed, and you just try to tackle what you can. And that's the nice thing, being in a marina thing like this. There's always friends. You meet a lot of friends. Like you go to root beer float parties, or you go to birthday parties, or you go to music venues. You know, it's kind of like being in a 55 and over park, other than it's all age groups here. It's just an amazing, amazing life. When we're done with this, being on the lake, we're hoping to do a boat and do the American Great Loop, which is a 6,000-mile waterway. Goes up the East Coast, cuts up through New York, up into Georgian Bay, Canada, down through the Great Lakes. You can come down through St. Louis and over to Tennessee, and it comes out in Fairhope, Alabama. And then you go across the Gulf of America into Florida. And you can go around the Florida Keys or through Lake Okeechobee. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And the people across from us over here, they're doing that in 2 years.
And you're thinking in a couple of years you might do that?
We're waiting for Renly. We don't think it'll be fair to have a dog this age, because a potty time for a dog on the loop means take the dog, put him in a dinghy to shore. If you can find a good place to go on shore, then bring the dog back.
Yeah, so it'd be hard on her.
And she had a stroke last year.
Yeah, and she did have a stroke last year.
Yeah. So if she had medical issues, you'd kind of be stuck out there.
Yeah.
She would be stuck out there.
Yeah.
So share with us any other advice that you would want to give somebody that might be houseboating, that would not even be thinking about houseboating.
Well,
I think my number one advice that we came up with before we retired was to have everything paid off. Because we weren't old enough to get Social Security, so we really didn't have income. So that was my number one advice.
Yeah, because it can be pretty expensive.
Well, this is the most. This is way, way, way more expensive than RVing. And if you buy right, I mean, we made good money off of
flipping RVs.
The other houseboats, really good money. They have what they call share boats, so you can actually buy a week.
So why would that be an advantage over just renting a houseboat for a week?
Well, for the headache, if you were to rent a houseboat for a week, you're getting something that is usually hammered from the marina. If you're a family going, or you have family vacations, even if you're a senior, most of these share boats are owned by, seems like, the grandparents buy the share. And then your whole family comes together. Like friends of ours that they winter in Yuma, they had a share for 15 years.
So it'd be similar to any other timeshare type of thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a
Similar to-
timeshare thing.
Usually they could have like 5 people who own the timeshare, or 10 people, or 20 people. So it just depends. If they have 5 people, then they get to use it way more often. So they decide, they buy it. It's like in an LLC. They have to put it in an LLC, and then so it just depends on how many people own the boat.
There's just all kinds of different ways to do this. That wouldn't work for me. But I mean, and it is a lot of work. When we go up lake, people think, oh, you just park your houseboat or throw an anchor.
I remember I had fifth wheel for a while. It was a lot of work setting up in a parking space. And yesterday you were showing me all the things. I'll probably put that in a two separate video, part 1, part 2, you know, all the things you have to do. But you showed me yesterday all the things that you have to unhook, drain, all the things you need to do before you can even leave the slip.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a lot of work just preparing.
Yeah. It's a lot of work in and out of the slip, but it's fast and easy in a slip.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention? I think that's everything on my list. So, if you've been considering houseboating, I hope this video provided some valuable information for you. Watch this other video up here and find out the technical side of operating a houseboat. I'm Esther, and my channel is all about retirement living. So hit that subscribe button down below if you're over 50, 60, or beyond, if you would like to hear more information about living your best years in retirement.